Hello, my name is Heather Quibell, and this is my Giving Voice to Values presentation on Benny and the Jets. Benny Gordon has his master's degree in accounting and is now working as a division-level account manager at Jet Energy Company. Jet Energy Company is based in North Carolina and supplies electricity to 7 million customers in the southern states. Jet Energy is allowed the 12.5% maximum rate of return on operating income for the energy that it sells. If the company is earning more than that, state regulators can cut the rate that it is allowed to charge its customers. Benny reports to Sarah Higgins, a division controller, and Sarah then reports to Sam Thornton, the chief financial officer. He in turn reports to the CEO, Vanessa Jones. Joanne Franks is the chief compliance officer. And the company has an audit committee made up of 3 members, and all of the members sit on the board of directors. Benny has found some accounting irregularities that deal with the reclassification of some of the items that makes the company's return lower so that regulators will not cut rates. Jet Energy often receives rebates from insurers for safety records. The cost of premiums is expensed to the electricity accounts, but the rebates are not booked back to the same accounts. Instead, the rebates are booked below operating income in non-operating accounts. This keeps Jet Energy from exceeding the allowable returns and state-led regulators from lowering the electric rates. After keeping silent for 2 years, Benny has decided to address the issue. He has the option of reporting this to top management or the State Utilities Commission. What process should be followed in bringing up the concerns into the open? Does this include whistleblowing? First, Benny should do his due diligence and make sure he understands the situation. This can be done by re-examining the entries and, if possible, previous financial reports to see if it is notated at some other point. Once he is sure his concerns are valid, he can then decide whom to reach out to. When he makes his next approach, he should have copies of the entries and numbers to show where the error occurred. The first person he should approach is his immediate supervisor, Sarah Higgins. From there, he can go up the chain of command to Sam Thornton, then Joanne Franks, Vanessa Jones, and finally the audit committee. By starting with the supervisor, he is giving them a chance to rectify the error. Whistleblowing depends on how the whistleblower perceives organizational policies that are designed to encourage moral autonomy, individual responsibility, and the organizational support for whistleblowers. If Benny's concerns are brushed aside or covered up, then whistleblowing would be the next step. What are the ethical values that should be front and center in deciding how best to advise Benny on what to do? Integrity is an ethical value that should be front and center. Rule 102 of the AICPA code requires that in the performance of any professional service, a member shall maintain objectivity and integrity, shall be free of conflicts of interest, and shall not knowingly misrepresent facts or subordinate his or her judgments to others. Honesty is always an important value to have when dealing with others. Benny should be honest in his findings, as well as the fact that he sat on the information for 2 years. What reasons and realizations do you anticipate may be logged by stakeholders based on the advice that you might give? How would you counter them? I think a main concern of the stakeholders would be that it has been done this way for way too long. Why change it now? Benny kept this to himself for 2 years with no real explanation of why he kept it to himself. Going off the assumption that he did not realize the error until now, stakeholders should be told that when he started working here, it was straight from college. He was taught to do it this way and believed that it was a part of accounting for an electric company. After being here for some time and truly understanding the company's reporting aspects, he was able to see what the issue was. What levers can Benny use to influence those that might disagree with him? Part of the due diligence that Benny should do before coming forward is to gather all of the information, the entry records and financial reports. Then Benny should compare them to GAAP, or generally acceptable accounting practices, to show what was done wrong. Having the GAAP guidelines is a key piece of information that could help sway those that disagree with him. Benny should start by researching GAAP and understanding how the accounting for these should happen. This is a vital part of information that will help influence those that disagree with him. My final piece of advice to Benny is to come forward sooner. By waiting so long, it gives people reason to doubt his motives for coming forward, and in some cases, it may even seem he was guilty. Remember, honesty is always the best policy.